Imagine losing everything: your father, your home, your food. Imagine crying out to Allah in the silence of the night, feeling as if no one hears you. This was Zayd's life, but he remembered one timeless wisdom of Hazrat Ali. Yes, patience ensures victory. And with that patience, he went from a starving boy to one of the most respected men in his land. His story is proof that no matter how dark your night, the dawn is written. If you're going through hardship, don't give up. Hold on, because your victory might be just one moment of patience away. Subscribe to Deen in Minute for more stories that will change your heart forever. Patience ensures victory. Hazrat Ali's wisdom that changed a life. Islamic story. In a small village surrounded by mountains and rivers, there lived a young man named Zayd. He was known for his honesty, his hard work, and his deep faith. But life had tested him more than most men of his age. His father had passed away when he was only a child, leaving behind debts that weighed heavily on his family. His mother worked day and night, weaving clothes for people in the village, but often they went to bed hungry. Zayd was intelligent and strong, but his life was full of trials. Many times he questioned, "Why me? Why so many difficulties?" Yet, deep in his heart, he held on to the words he had once heard from his teacher in the mosque: "Patience ensures victory." These were the words of Hazrat Ali ibn Abu Talib. Yes, and though Zayd did not fully understand them, they echoed in his mind during the darkest hours. One winter, a terrible drought struck the land. The rivers dried, crops failed, and people began to hoard food. Those who had once been generous now shut their doors, fearing for their own survival. Zayd and his mother were left with almost nothing. Each night, his mother whispered dua, tears falling silently on her prayer mat. Zayd, though young, felt the crushing responsibility to provide. He tried to find work, but no one could pay him with food or money, only promises that meant little. Hunger gnawed at his stomach, but his greater pain was watching his mother grow weaker day by day. One night, frustrated and tired, Zayd walked into the mountains. He cried out to Allah, his voice trembling, "Ya Allah, I have nothing left. I try to be patient, but my heart is breaking. Why do you test me this way?" His voice echoed among the rocks, and in the silence that followed, he felt a strange calmness. It was as if the mountains themselves whispered Hazrat Ali's words again: "Patience ensures victory." He wiped his tears and returned home, determined to hold on just a little longer. The next morning, he went to the market, though he had nothing to sell. There he saw a wealthy merchant struggling to lift a heavy sack onto his camel. Others passed by, pretending not to notice, but Zayd ran forward. "Let me help you," he said. The merchant looked at him, surprised by the boy's eagerness. Together they lifted the sack, and the merchant, impressed by Zayd's strength and manners, asked, "What is your name, boy?" Zayd told him, and when the merchant heard of his situation, he said, "Come work for me. I cannot pay you much now, but if you show loyalty, your patience will be rewarded." For months, Zayd worked tirelessly. He carried goods, cleaned the storerooms, and helped customers. The merchant often tested him, sometimes delaying his wages, sometimes giving him only a small portion of food. Many times Zayd's heart whispered, "Leave. This is not worth it." But he remembered his late father's words and the wisdom of Hazrat Ali. Yes. He held on, convincing himself that Allah sees what people do not. Then came the day when a caravan of thieves attacked the merchant's storehouses. Many workers ran away in fear, but Zayd stayed. He fought with nothing but a stick in his hand, protecting the goods as best as he could. He was beaten and injured, yet he refused to abandon his duty. When the attackers left, most of the wealth was saved, and the merchant, seeing Zayd's loyalty, was moved to tears. The next day, in front of the entire marketplace, the merchant called Zayd and said, "This boy has shown patience when others ran. He deserves more than wages." To everyone's shock, the merchant announced that he was giving Zayd a share in his business. From that day forward, Zayd's life began to change. With honesty, hard work, and patience, he slowly rose, and within years, he became one of the most respected men in the region. People who had once ignored him now came seeking advice and help. His mother lived her last years in peace, proud of her son's faith and perseverance. But the real victory was not the wealth or the respect. It was the transformation inside Zayd. He realized that patience was not simply waiting. It was trusting Allah when everything seemed against you. It was standing firm when your heart wanted to give up. It was choosing to believe in Allah's plan, even when your eyes saw only darkness. And when victory finally came, Zayd bowed his head in sajda and whispered, "Indeed, patience ensures victory." Years later, when people asked him how he had overcome so much hardship, he would smile and say, "It was not my strength. It was not my intelligence. It was the words of Hazrat Ali as that guided me. Patience ensures victory. If you hold on to Allah, no matter how heavy the storm, the sunrise will come." This story is not just about Zayd. It is about all of us. Every person faces trials, poverty, sickness, betrayal, loneliness. At times, it feels as though the doors of mercy are closed. But remember, every test has an ending, and every night has a dawn. Victory is promised by Allah, but only to those who endure. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Know that victory comes with patience, relief with affliction, and ease with hardship." When we are patient, we are not simply waiting. We are planting seeds of trust that Allah Himself will bring to harvest. So whenever you feel your life is falling apart, when you have nothing left, remember Zayd. Remember his tears in the mountains, his hunger, his pain, and remember how patience turned his life into victory. Let his story remind you that your victory, too, may be just a moment of patience away.